But early internal contradictions, engineered by tribe and religion, truncated it, using the military for over 30 years. You will agree with me. The military, in league with some politicians, led this country until 1999, when they were pressurized to return to barracks through combined democratic effort from both within and outside this country. For the first 16 years of this milestone political transition, legitimate power rested in the domain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, a party backed by the nation's own democratic struggles. And founding fathers set out very lofty ideas, dreams for the nation's economic and social and political emancipation and development. Within these 16 years, the party, which I now have the privilege of leading, was able to lay the founding blocks of our nascent democracy by setting up and nurturing vital democratic institutions that will ensure its survival. Ultimately, realizing the critical importance of credible election in the life of any democracy, the PDP government embarked on massive electoral reforms that ensure the conduct of free, fair, credible elections, and saw a ruling party lose in an election successfully transited power to the opposition. This is the first time it's happening in our country. And even an example for the entire continent. Even though sad about our loss, we as a party are immensely proud of what we consider our most significant achievement of willingly transferring power to opposition. When the time came, thus giving a lie to all predictions that Nigeria will break up in 2015. Let me alert the current ruling party that no less is expected of them. And we hope that they will heed to that advice. Only a party like ours, truly founded on strong democratic principles and ideals, ultimately drawing its inspiration from the people, hence its motto, power to the people, could have submitted to the superior will of the people. We did just that in 2015. This was despite the dire consequences to our continued existence. Prior to the transition under our then leadership, notable strides in agriculture and the creative industries were piloted Nigerians' banking sector to show resilience, deepening its capitalization and offering in line with global practice. We also laid an encompassing privatization program, which in itself is a reference point not only in Nigeria, but in Africa. But 3 years down the line, about 12 months to the next general election, What is the state of our dear country today? That question is for all of us. What is the state of our dear nation today? That is the essence of this gathering this morning. For us to brainstorm, for us to think deeply. It is not only our party, but the generality of Nigerians who are in pain. And by the grace of God, my colleagues and I thought it necessary that this is the time for this discourse. This is the time for this conversation. And we are leading this conversation. All gains have been clearly eroded through an acute lack of understanding of the intricacies of governing a complex state like Nigeria. It is complex indeed. It has quickly become apparent that propaganda and unrealistic promises that help the current ruling party to power could not and cannot deliver the much needed dividends of democracy. You need competence, you need capabilities, you need the experience. And the PDP has gathered this experience over the years. Experience is the best teacher. Experience, you can't buy it in the market. It is the only party, well-structured, well-founded, that belongs to all Nigerians, all shades, creed, religion, intellectuals, the common man in the street, the common man in the village. This is the only party that can provide that. Because this is lacking in the other party. The three major plans that our opposition sold itself to Nigerians: combating corruption, tackling insecurity, and revamping the nation's economy. Today, the scorecard of the ruling party on all scores is embarrassing, not only to Nigerians, but across the nations of the world that has held Nigeria on a very high esteem. Today, Nigerian image has nosedived. On corruption, I need not go into detail except draw your attention to the latest Transparency International report that shows that the corruption index under the watch of the so-called anti-corruption government has worsened. It is not the PDP, it is not agencies in Nigeria, but this is Transparency International. It is the highest body that can gauge which country is worst and which country is doing well. Today, there is often swift action, occasioned by extensive media trials, when it comes to investigating opposition leaders in a desperate move to give a dog a bad name in order to hang it. You all are aware what is happening in this country today. The government of APC is so desperate. They cannot fulfill their promises. And so they resort to harassment. They resort to blackmail, lies, hunting down the opposition. But it can never work. It has never worked anywhere in the world. But Nigerians are witnesses to this government's inability to extend same courses to its own members. It is a clear case of selective fight against corruption. You can see that when it pleases the government of the day, they will move and do all the media trials for the opposition leaders. While in their very government, inside them, cases that have been proven, cases that have been investigated by National Assembly are kept aside. They are not taken to court. No media trials for them. Nigerians are there to see. Feeble attempts to slap accused members of the same party on the wrist are engineered through unending probe panels that lack legitimacy or are incompetent to effectively investigate such allegations in the unlikely event that the panel concludes its work. The reports never were made public. They killed it. But if it has anything to do with any of the political parties or any other political parties, they are ready to get headlines on the papers. Our party does not and will not condone corruption. We will never condone corruption in any manner or in any form. And so we condemn it in its entirety. As a matter of fact, it is on record that it is only PDP that has willingly given up for prosecution its members accused of corruption. Our people are not afraid. They are ready to stand anywhere to defend themselves. Furthermore,